Did you see Adele's comments about her sobriety last week? I don't know if you saw any of the coverage about what she actually said, but in case you missed it, I've got it here, and this is what she told fans in Vegas. She said, "I stopped drinking 3.5 months ago. It's boring. I mean, I was literally borderline alcoholic for quite a lot of my 20s, but I miss it so much." And then she told a fan, "So enjoy your whiskey sour. I am very, very jealous." And I wanted to talk about this today because 3 things sprang to mind when I heard what she'd said and I heard it reported. First of all, if you've struggled on your alcohol-free journey, take comfort in the fact that you're not alone, because this isn't the first time that Adele's spoken about ditching alcohol. In 2021, she told Oprah that she quit drinking completely after drinking a lot during lockdown and going through her divorce at that time. And now, 2 years later, we're hearing that she's 3.5 months sober. And I have real compassion for Adele doing this in the public eye and having people notice that. But yeah, if you're in an on-off pattern, you're not the only one. And I'm not giving you permission to drink again or anything like that. But sometimes I see people being so hard on themselves because they haven't done this perfectly, whatever that is. And I know for me, there was that same on-off pattern for a while before I stopped for good, because I knew I needed to quit, but my mind wasn't fully on board with it. And I also wasn't getting the right help and support. So yes, I did go back and forth with it. The second thing that I wanted to say about Adele's description of being a borderline alcoholic, because that was interesting. In fact, earlier today, I found a whole article discussing what she meant by borderline alcoholic and what is that exactly? Because we live in this world where some people still like to think that there are just 2 types of drinkers, normal drinkers and raging alcoholics. They think that's it, it's very black and white. But as a sobriety coach, I work exclusively with women who are in the grey area, who are in this rarely acknowledged middle messy bit where, yes, you are drinking in a way that's harmful and causing problems, but your whole world hasn't crashed to a halt. It's not like in the movies when someone's been sacked from their job and they are drinking in the morning or drinking out of a paper bag. I know you are still keeping all your different plates spinning and life probably looks fine on the outside. But every night, or most nights, you quietly get lost in a bottle and you wish you didn't. And I think it can be very confusing when you're struggling so much and you don't identify with the word alcoholic. And if you've been following me for a while, you might have noticed that I don't ever use that word in my work. I don't call myself an alcoholic. I don't want to be labelled in that way. And I don't label my clients that way either. So yeah, it's a term we don't need. But here's the final and the most important thing that I want to say about Adele's comments. So she described, I was looking at the article, she described her sobriety as boring. She said, "I miss it so much and I'm very, very jealous of people who drink." I have got to point out to you that sobriety doesn't have to be boring. And if Adele is watching this, because I'm sure she follows the Sober School, of course, I would say to her, come and work with me. Come take my Getting Unstuck coaching program, because I can teach you how to stay alcohol free without it feeling dull or like you're missing out. It is not fun to be sober and miss alcohol. So it's really important to do the right mindset work, and really understand and unpick the beliefs that you have about booze. If you don't do that inner work, if you keep romanticizing and glamorizing alcohol and you keep it up on this big sort of pedestal where it still seems like fun and magic in a bottle and the secret to great times, well, then it's always going to be hard to be without it. Now, I know obviously these comments Adele made were pretty off the cuff. I think she was just chatting with fans in between songs. So perhaps it wasn't a very considered view. But it was kind of frustrating for me to see her words get so much coverage. Because for some people, what she said will slot very neatly into their existing narrative that they have about sobriety being boring and depriving, and only for people who are alcoholics or borderline alcoholics. And I can imagine some people thinking, oh, poor Adele, it's such a shame that she's had to quit. Whereas my personal perspective isn't that I can't drink or poor me, I had to stop. It's just, yes, I don't have to drink anymore. I don't need that crap anymore. And that type of freedom where alcohol becomes like small and irrelevant in life, that's what I want for you too. That is true alcohol-free living. So that's what I've got for you this week. Scroll down, leave a comment for me and let me know where you're at on your alcohol-free journey.